Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of August 28, 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological week, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. As we begin the week, we do so with a bit of a serious tone because of Venus. Now, Venus is quite active in the sky this week. At the very beginning of the week, standing across the sky from Saturn, I see this as a turning point in love, a reality check moment for many of us out there, even if it's hard. Now, keep in mind, Venus is in the part of the sky, the sign of Leo, that has to do with the heart. It has to do with where we are loyal, where we desire to feel special. And it is Saturn in Aquarius that is about almost like the opposite of all things Venus and Leo would be. It's about considering others. It's about understanding larger implications than just the heart. It's about thinking things through rationally, right? But there are moments when the mind and the heart absolutely can work together. And it is the energy this week, as we begin the week, that I think is going to serve as a turning point for many of us out there. For some, that turning point is going to be what we have been feeling for so long. We finally see it with a healthy detachment. Whether it has to do with love, whether it has to do with money, or whether it has to do with what we really want in our heart of hearts, in any area of life. But the turning point moment can also be a kind of reality check where you see a dynamic more clearly than you did before, and you understand the long-term consequences of staying in that dynamic. You understand what may need to change or evolve within a given dynamic as well. Where relationships are strong, it is this energy that can invite a moment that ultimately deepens the commitment. Now, regardless of what it is that comes up, this reality check turning point moment, the fact that as we navigate through the week, on Tuesday and Friday, Venus will reach out first to Neptune and then to Pluto. And this is a type of alignment that astrologers call a quincunx. Now, the way I see a quincunx is as an energy that is felt very quickly, and it feels as if very quickly two different areas of life, two different parts of you, two different energies need to integrate in some way. They got to get along. But they also find resolution very quickly as well. So as much as Venus opposite Saturn can feel rather weighted, it is the energies that follow that encourage us to see things from eyes of faith, to have compassion, to have understanding, but then also moving forward to transform our understanding of what we truly want in our heart of hearts, and to transform a situation where possible. Sometimes transforming a situation means stepping away. It means saying, okay, I'm not playing this anymore. Sometimes transforming a situation means evolving, you growing, you changing, and seeing where it is that other parties are along for the ride or not, seeing where it is that you could do things differently as well. If Neptune is faith, it is Pluto that is truly seeing to the depth, again, perhaps in an instant. But ultimately, that instant is honest, it is transformative, and it leads our heart in new directions. Now, by the time we get to the end of the week, Venus changes signs, moving into the sign of the earth goddess Virgo. This is a very different love expression we have here. Now, Venus is traditionally, in traditional astrology, not considered very strong in the sign of Virgo. And that does suggest that moving forward, how we express love, how we understand love, well, it could feel a little bit up in the air, if you will. It can be a little hard to find the sweetness and light that love sometimes asks, or make the kind of bold statements that love sometimes asks. Love is in the details with Venus in the sign of Virgo. And what that means is, what are you actually showing people? You know, the very famous quote of Maya Angelou that says, when people tell you who they are, believe them. I think it's also, and she must have said this as well, I'm not going to take credit for this, when people show you who they are, believe them as well. That can be tough sometimes, especially when we have seen things from our own desires, our own hope, our own faith, to actually see things in a way that is more focused on the practicalities of who this person is, what they're demonstrating to you repeatedly again and again. Well, that is where we may find the kind of love that magnifies in the small moments of the day. That is where we want love to be demonstrated in the sign of Virgo. Venus here is going to invite us to bring love to those small moments, whether that's romantic love, self-love, self-value, or whether that has to do with a more universal love that we might find as we move through our day, focusing in on the details that ultimately lead up to living a life. I do think the high point this week happens on Thursday, because it is on Thursday that Mars will speak in harmony with Jupiter. Now, I actually touched on this energy for some of the signs when we looked at the Jupiter special horoscope, so you may want to review that for your sign again when we looked at Jupiter moving through the sign of Aries. But I feel like this is one of these encouraging moments where we are going to understand how to tap into that energy uniquely for ourselves. Jupiter in the sign of Aries is all about magnifying your personal understanding of who you are and understanding that you can have agency over your life and move your life in the direction that you desire to go. Mars in the sign of Gemini has us thinking along those lines, but also encouraging us to connect with others as part of our unique self-expression, but also those random interactions we may have with others can be very powerful ways to remind us of how much power we have as individuals, as well as we respect and honor other individuals. Now, simply the fact that Mars is the ruling planet of the sign of Aries and Jupiter is in the sign of Aries, speaking with that Mars, does suggest that all of us are looking at how it is and where it is we may feel like we're ready to move forward, have a fresh chapter in some way. The energy of Aries is the sign of first breath. It is beginnings, it is seed moments, but it's also an energy that is so creative, so passionate. It's considered the entrepreneurial vibe because to be an entrepreneur, some part of you really has to believe in yourself and to stand in your power. This is an easy energy. This Mars sextile Jupiter is an exchange of energy that ultimately helps us to recognize and be present with the power that we have and to feel grateful for it as well. We have a very important and consequential energy at the end of the week, and that is of Mercury standing across the sky from Jupiter. And I actually think this is fascinating. It is, as we get to the end of the week, that Mercury is slowing down to a standstill. Mercury will go retrograde next week. And then a little over a week after that is going to stand across the sky from Jupiter again. But because Mercury is traveling so slowly right now, it is as if these two planets are holding tight this conversation for an extended period of time. I do think that this energy is one of the defining energies of this larger Mercury retrograde season for a lot of us out there. As I said, Jupiter is in the sign of Aries. It is an energy of self, but it is Mercury right now that is in the sign of Libra. It's an energy of sharing. It's an energy of considering other perspectives, an energy of finding solutions together. And so having these energies at contrast to me is so intriguing. Ultimately, in the matchup, I have to say Jupiter wins, like personal individual power wins over acts of simple diplomacy. But diplomacy never really is simple, right? It actually is something that takes a lot of skill. As anybody can tell you, if you've ever had to navigate office politics, for example, you may know this. So imagine that on even bigger stages. We may see examples of that, certainly. of very notable efforts at diplomacy taking place and trying to figure out when force is necessary and when it isn't. We can consider this in our own lives as well. When is it to push forward and when is it to allow? When is it to make a decision and go for it? When is it to consider different options and different perspectives? I think a lot of us may find ourselves going back and forth between different options in all kinds of ways, in at least one area of life, but possibly in terms of our connections to other people, looking at what we value in others, looking at where it is perhaps certain alliances aren't the best for us for a variety of reasons. Now, it is this Mercury retrograde that is, for the next couple of weeks, going to magnify this lesson for all of us in one way or another, ultimately defining much of this time for many of us out there. What I love about this week for us, well, there's so much here. I am going to say the energy on Thursday, Mars sextile Jupiter. I think that this is going to be an adrenaline rush that is very pleasing to a lot of us. Now, whether that is the adrenaline rush of attraction to another person, that's possible. Whether that's the adrenaline rush of a creative idea that we feel inspired by, lit up by, that's possible as well. But I want to add another layer of understanding to this energy. Consider that it is going to be next week that Mars will go into shadow. And as Mars steps into shadow, there are going to be a couple of key defining characteristics of that shadow. The Mars retrograde special horoscopes should be up by now. And I hope that you're enjoying them, but I will link to them below. But I think that this is like the universe saying, look how great it can be, right? Look how great Mars and Gemini can be for you in your sign, right? In your chart, depending on its relationship. Look how amazing this is just before the more challenging lessons start to come into play. There are moments of stability with this Mars retrograde, but there are a lot of moments of confusion as well, where we might not know what to believe. And sometimes there's value in that. There's value in surrender, even if it's hard. But having said that, this ain't the week for surrender. This week says, own your spark, own that creativity, decide what direction you want to go in, trust that instinctual side of you, be impulsive, and chances are it'll pay off. Well, thank you so much for watching. What do you love about this week? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading you guys. And to prove it to you, here are some of my most recent favorite comments. Thank you to everybody who likes, who comments, who subscribes, who shares, who thumbs up. All of it means so much. Thank you so much for your trust, for your love. I'm so grateful for it. Now, if you want to know how all this wonderful stuff this week speaks to you in your sign, log on to NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month. Would choose your membership rate. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Link is in the description below. Synchronicity University presents some truly incredible classes coming up. You literally have just a couple of more days as this week begins to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class. I am so proud of our September faculty. I'm going to start with my amazing friend, Ursula Stockder. Ursula is a Jungian analyst, and she is going to be teaching a 5-part course on Jung and tarot. It really is about understanding how the tarot is a relationship with your own unconscious and how Carl Jung understood the tarot deck. It's about fortifying your relationship with your own tarot deck, teaching it as only she can. Last year, Ursula taught a 2-part workshop on the tarot, and it was just so rich, and students loved it. And so now we're so happy to have her back teaching at Synchronicity University. I couldn't be more proud. So yes, lots of topics are going to be covered, as you can see up here. And also, if you go to synchronicityuniversity.com, you'll see detailed explanations of the different classes, and you can sign up. As we start this week, there's just a couple of days left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class, an unheard of rate to learn from the likes of the truly brilliant Ursula Stockder at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Synchronicity University presents a truly special September speaker series here at Synchronicity University, as low as just $5 a class for a couple of days left. And links are all in the description below. We have some brilliant teachers joining us for the speaker series. Colin Bedell, a superstar astrologer who is the person behind Queer Cosmos. So brilliant, so loving. We have Helene from Heart House Astrology teaching on Uranus in the astrology chart from that heart perspective. It's going to be so exciting. My friend Yuridia Robles is back. Now, you know her as someone that I co-wrote a book with called Mayan Astrology, but she is also a person who is an expert at the part of fortune, has taught on the part of fortune extensively. And so she will be coming to Synchronicity University, September speaker series, and teaching about the part of fortune. We have also my friend Quan Tracy Cherry. He is so dynamic, isn't he? He is a lawyer by education, by trade. He brings so much passion to astrology. He's going to be looking at the raw materials of the signs of the astrology chart. And then my friend Nicole Garceau. I love this woman so much. She is so brilliant. She is such a winner. Like, that's how I look at her, as a winner. And she is very big on specific techniques, and she's going to be teaching on the technique of a degree method that can get really precise in helping to bring another layer of interpretation to the different planets in your chart. Each degree means something, and she'll be going through that. Synchronicityuniversity.com is the place to sign up for the September speaker series now. There's just a couple days left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class at synchronicityuniversity.com. Links are in the description below. Synchronicity University presents the one and only Achyuta Bhava Das, YouTube superstar astrologer. Achyuta Bhava Das, if you've had a chance to see his YouTube channel, I feel like if you see it once, you will be a fan for life. He brings so much love to his interpretations of the astrology chart. I don't even know how or where I came across his work. I just know that it radiated love, and he really presents it in his own unique way. He is well rooted in a traditional understanding of astrology, but he's going to be teaching on the mystical roots of traditional astrology. And he'll be taking you through signs, through houses, through planets, so you will see your chart very differently after you take this 5-part class. Now, choose your tuition rate on for just a few days left, as low as just $5 a class is an unheard of rate to learn from Achyuta Bhava Das. But I hope that you will join us. He truly is such an incredible and special teacher, really brings so much to the class, so much wisdom, so much love, so much knowledge. I'm really looking forward to seeing how students are changed, how they see their charts differently as a result of taking this class. Synchronicityuniversity.com, links are in the description below. And thank you. Right about now, as this is publishing, I should be at the ISAR conference. I'm having a lot of fun, I'm sure. I'm going to try to also post another video here. I've been talking to a couple of friends. We'll see what ends up happening. It can get pretty crazy at an astrology conference, I'll tell you. Get some astrologers together, and it is a party like you've never had a party. Let me just say that. If you're in the Denver area, you can come by to the ISAR conference. Links are in the description below. And of course, I'll be teaching online with ISAR a workshop on Lilith, a 4-hour workshop on Lilith, Black Moon Lilith in the astrology chart. And links are in the description below for that as well. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here right around the time that this is publishing, or maybe just a little bit before. I am publishing another video about taking a sabbatical. So yes, I am doing that. And I don't know if I can actually do it. I've been talking about it on Synchronicity Web TV, that this is something I felt called to do for a while. But I hope that you will give a very warm and loving welcome to the incredible teachers, incredible astrologers, incredible guests that we are going to have here on my YouTube channel, friends of mine who are going to help me out with the weekly horoscopes and the monthly horoscopes as well for just a few weeks. And I'm really looking forward to being back with fresh, renewed, exciting energy after my retreat with so much more to share. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.